And we are live. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everybody. A special edition of TigerBait Live. Buddy's been running the roads all day. He's exhausted. I did about half as much as him. But of course, everybody's getting everything ready for the big day tomorrow and loading up on carbs, and no different here. But we got a lot to talk about. LSU heading to Texas A&M. Buddy's checking out basketball scores before we go live. And so looking forward to chatting with all of you about LSU heading for their 10th, looking to get their 10th win against an A&M team who would love nothing more than to spoil LSU's season, and which is basically their bowl game and their Super Bowl. So we can talk about that. Of course, we're brought to you each week by our title sponsor, Pride Roofing, and we'll talk more about them a little bit later in the show. But welcome in, buddy.
Good to see you, Mike. As always, we hope everybody out there has a blessed and happy Thanksgiving. I would think by Friday, Saturday, I will be affectionately known as Butterball Buddy. I do like the turkey. I've been dealing with traffic, and I must say that I think Baton Rouge can become Podunk Baton Rouge on the eve of a holiday. It is amazing how many people try to leave town and airline, highway, the interstate, or whatever. But look, we have plenty to be thankful for. Mike and I know Mike, of course, runs a great job over here at TigerBait. Had a fantastic year. Folks, we didn't know we'd be 9-2 talking about this at this point. And so a lot to be thankful for, a lot to say we were right, a lot to say we were wrong. I thought the CFP was going to follow the AP and the coaches, and no, they said no, LSU's to 5 and USC to 6. So all of that along with the final regular season game at A&M.
Yeah, I was one of those people that was kind of thinking that they might jump LSU, but I was, I think what it's really showing is that the committee is really paying attention to who's actually better football teams and who's got better wins. And so we're going to see how this plays out the rest of the way. But look, I know you don't want to talk about it, but
I'll talk about it now.
McElroy says, hey, and I agree with McElroy, and I think Herbstreit says the same. If LSU wins out, they're in.
If they get through the A&M game, style points, and don't have any significant injuries.
So you think they need style points in College Station?
I think they need to make a statement. Now, USC is playing Notre Dame, and then we'll play in the Pac-12 championship game. You would think that USC and LSU are very close. But, no, I agree with that now. What I was always saying is that you get me to next week with Jaden Daniels and Will Campbell and everybody. Look at last week, okay? Charles Turner doesn't play. Josh Williams doesn't play. All these guys don't play. Booty doesn't play. If LSU can go in, because they are a little thin. I think everybody out there that's a Tiger fan will know. We talked about it. They've got 55 or 60 that can play, not 80 or 85 like Bama and Georgia. So if they can get through this game, take care of business, look like they did last week, and Mike, if they can get Georgia to play the way they did against Missouri and Kentucky, they definitely have a chance to win that football game.
Jake Guillory right out the chute with a super chat. He said, let's get hype and get to 10 wins and send the Aggies home crying about 8 losses. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I'm always, kind of having fun with A&M and all offseason saying they're overrated. And what were they, 6th?
Yeah, number 6 preseason.
Boy. And so, yeah, it's astonishing where they are at. And, So then what is the over and under on Jimbo Fisher and how many coaches he scapegoats in the next week or two?
Well, we said they'd get to 8. Everybody called A&M 8-4, but it's 8 losses if LSU takes care of business. But let me warn you, folks, 4 years ago, it was a robbery. In case you're a little foggy and have had too much eggnog and turkey and all the trimmings, the 7 overtime game, LSU got cheated. And, Mike, I don't know if the conference wants LSU to lose so that Alabama can seep up closer, or if they want to have them win because they want 2 teams possibly in the Final Four. But do not leave it into the hands of the officials. How in the hell can Mason Taylor not get a touchdown last Saturday night? I'm serious. So I'm just telling you, folks, don't leave it into anybody's hands but your LSU football team.
Kindercamp with a super chat. Hypothetically speaking, if Smoke Harris, Louisiana Tech, was available in the portal, if you're LSU, would you explore it? He could be a boost on punt and kick returns. I think they're going to explore every line of that portal like everybody else. But looking at who redshirted, looking at the athletes that they have coming in, that would be a decision they would have to make on all that. But I think obviously they want more options to choose from on special teams in the return game next year, no matter what. But thank you for that super chat, Kinder Camp. Guys, hit that like button, share. If you're enjoying the show, hit the like button. Please do that for us. I'll do it every week, and it's much appreciated. And share the show to your Facebook wall, your Twitter account, and all the LSU groups. Spread the word. Text it out to your other LSU friends. And so, but let's scroll up and get some of these real quick. Henry Bennett, I'm very disappointed that Preston doesn't know what Merlotins are. Man, I don't know what that is either.
That's Thanksgiving food here.
What is Merlotins?
I don't eat them, but you have to develop a taste for them. I'll just say that.
Okay, then Eric DeLion says, Preston also didn't know what baked spaghetti and cheese is.
Look, let's
and he thinks gumbo is not food for the holidays.
Preston. He's got a lot to be thankful for. Hey, congratulations to Preston.
Preston is famous for being the know-it-all who doesn't know a lot.
But look, he had a baby, a boy. And,
so you're giving him a mulligan for that.
and Blake had a baby girl. So God bless everybody, and a lot to be thankful for. I am spent. So if you want to get me and make me look silly, tonight's the night, because I am spent. I am thankful that it's been a good season, but I am thankful we have Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Well, Henry says that Merlotins. I mean, look, man, I spent half my life living in Lafayette, so I know a lot of Cajun food.
Yeah.
Now you're going to make me Google it?
What did he say?
Well, he's disappointed Preston. Well, he's disappointed in me now because I don't know.
Well, let's go. The Three Stooges.
All right, so Bill Frere with the Go Tigers. PC says, are the recruits waiting on signing day? There seems to be a pretty large number of uncommitted. There's going to be a bunch that fall here, and there's some that will do it in different ways heading towards that. Some of them will announce it in all-star games. But, you know, LSU's sitting at 25. How many high school kids do they end up with? I think the word I'm getting is, as big as high school recruiting is, you've got to recruit your own roster in a big way. It don't matter if a kid's an all-SEC first-teamer on your team. You got to recruit him because of this NIL stuff. I think there's going to be a lot of sick fan bases out there, no matter if their teams are in the playoffs or not, because what's going to be happening with NIL offers that are out there, and the tampering is going to be off the charts.
4 weeks from today is the start of the early signing period, December 2-1. Of course, it always stays to be the first Wednesday in February, Mike. Hey, we've had this double signing here for a couple, 3 years now. What's your take on it, and do you like it, or do you still think there's some disadvantages?
I know a few years ago, or a year ago, I was thinking it needed to get rid of it. Because of what it was doing with the coaching searches. And
yeah, it's tough on a coaching search. A new coach, just like Brian Kelly. He came in 15, 16 days before last year. But for the ones that want to sign with LSU, you don't have to keep spending money on them. You know what you have in the early period, and you go from there. But it is interesting now that this transfer portal has changed everything like you alluded to.
Yep.
Nothing is the same as it used to be.
Now I'm kind of indifferent towards it. But
I like it because you get an idea of what you bring in, and then, as we know, you supplement from there.
Jake Guillory, I got that one already. Eric DeLion says video and audio is great. Thank you. Hal Jubin wants to know if we're going for a full hour. I think we're going to go as long as we can. Not guarantee an hour, but got a nice little crowd in here. And usually we get usually about midway through the show, it almost doubles our live viewers. So
I'm going to get LSU basketball fans. If you got an LSU basketball fan out there and you have a updated score, shoot it to me. I'm going to try to pull up and see what they were winning 47-41 right when we started this show. Matt McMahon, I haven't really talked much on the show, have not done him justice. But, Mike, it's hard to get into basketball, and as good as Kim Mulkey is, everybody knows they've had 5 straight wins and 100 points or more, but it's hard to get away from this football.
I had somebody at LSU the other day almost like dress me down and fussing me because I didn't go to the women's basketball game Sunday after I worked till 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And, of course, then Mulkey was asked a question about our non-conference schedule. I mean, some of this stuff, Mike, after the bowl game last year, if LSU loses to Georgia, I want a rematch with Kansas State. Man, I could care less about that Kansas State rematch. That is what it was. They ain't beating their chest over that. They know what LSU. That wasn't an LSU team they faced.
But they are appreciably better this year now. This Kansas State
I like
team,
the Orange Bowl Clemson matchup.
Yeah, I like that. What you said too.
That's a better game.
By the way, LSU leading 49-45. My latest update in the second half.
So, what would you rather open the season in New Orleans like they did with Florida State and end it in the Sugar Bowl against K-State? Or go to Florida in Miami for your bowl game and open in the Citrus Bowl?
Yeah, I would like the latter. Oh, by the way, verify that. Sugar Bowl this year, 11 o'clock in the morning.
That's another
start.
reason.
And look, they don't want
What time's the Orange?
It's later, but look, I'll tell you this. They don't want, no disrespect to the Sugar Bowl, but they had LSU. 11 o'clock start, you're not going to make the kind of money. They want somebody else coming in.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah. But, hey, all of that is off the table.
Let them have
until
Alabama.
We find out about LSU and Georgia, which, Mike, like I said, the difference, of course, you got to realize this, folks, 85% of that crowd on December 3rd is going to be black and red with Georgia. And although I do have a lot of people that are going to the SEC championship. Have you heard that as well?
Yeah.
So.
Dwayne Official, Mike, do you think BK will get the guys up to play in them? I absolutely do. And I think there's enough players on this football team that somebody's not up. That there's either a Harold Perkins sack or something along those lines that's going to get the team woke up and ready to go. And look, College Station, I don't know what the weather forecast is going to be. I hadn't really looked yet, but that place is going to be rocking regardless of how bad A&M's been this season.
I thought I saw earlier in the week, I looked at it, 61 high, 46 low. So, man, do you remember in recent memory LSU playing back-to-back cold weather games? I don't. Arkansas was brutal. I had some people that went and called in the show. It was brutal. And then, as you know, we talked about it on the show. You surmised that maybe 45,000 that kick.
Well, if you count that Independence Bowl in 95.
Oh yeah, but I know. But I'm just talking about in the regular season.
Or was it the Michigan State Independence Bowl that was freezing with Saban?
That's it.
Yeah. So that would, and they would end of that season with Arkansas. I don't know how cold that was that year.
Sure.
Big Cojones, Kelly. Good evening, Mike and Buddy. Happy Turducken Day. Listening to the men's basketball game. Go Tigers.
What's the score? Tell him.
Yeah, let me see if anybody scroll down and give us a score.
7 o'clock on the Orange Bowl kick, Mike.
49-47 says Hal Jubin.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Hal. 49-48 LSU, 8 minutes left.
Okay.
Stuffed bell pepper is what that is. All right, well, I like stuffed bell peppers, but you're not telling me what it's stuffed with, are you?
That's the key right there.
Yeah, Bayou Bingo, Mike and Buddy, looks like Orange Bowl likely for LSU. If they go 10-3 and lose to Georgia, I bet Bama's ranked higher, and good for them. Let them go to the Sugar Bowl and play Kansas State. I think you should be a lot more excited to go play Clemson in that Orange Bowl, and like Buddy said, that's a better kickoff time. Eric says, just messing around with Preston. He's a good dude. We just like picking on him, absolutely.
How about that? Tonight I'm protecting and backing Preston, so it's a good time. By the way, Trey Sanders, the highly touted running back that signed with Alabama, got in a car accident, has never been the same. He gets in the transfer portal. They had a cornerback get in the transfer portal. I think you are exactly right. And look, today it was like an interstate everywhere in Baton Rouge. People driving like hell, almost running, everybody running.
It took me 35 minutes to get from Blue Bonnet to about Trader Joe's, going down Perkins.
And you see the traffic that we dealt with today in Baton Rouge? That's what the transfer portal is going to look like.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Dane Bergeron with a super chat, and the super chat is just to rip Preston. Oh, hell no, Preston does not get a pass. His lack of knowledge on Cajun Thanksgiving dishes is unacceptable. He has to be a transplant from Alabama.
Well, Snake, we appreciate you.
You know, he married a Lafayette girl. He ought to know some Cajun dishes. Let's see.
Shout out to Fish. One of our loyal listeners says, LSU better respect Texas A&M. Mike, got to ask you, what Texas A&M team shows up? The one that looked horrible, and of course they've lost, as we know, consecutive games, a bunch of them, or the one that was one play away from stealing one against Nick in Tuscaloosa? Which A&M team is going to show up? And it's not like Aggies are very predictable in anything.
Max Truth, please comment on Perkins as a kick returner. I don't see that happening. I don't think Matt House would give him up for that or allow it. Just like I don't think he would give it up if LSU was really in even a worse bind and another running back got hurt and letting him get a few reps at running back in key situations. And I think I know he's the best running back on the team, but he's also the best linebacker and arguably the best player overall on the football team. So
Jimbo Fisher, in case you missed it, they asked him about Harold Perkins when he was being recruited, Mike, and he talked about Harold Perkins was one of the better running backs he averaged 10 yards a carry.
Oh, he's
So you see what he does when he is running quarterbacks down, and he doesn't miss, by the way, but you also see when he gets the rush, and you see what he gets when he's intercepting and covering. I think it's a great idea. Unfortunately, like you alluded to, Harold Perkins is just too darn valuable on defense. But I hope that the return games are appreciably better next year. I think this has been something that they've got to get appreciably better. That's terrible.
Trucking with Casper with a super chat. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody watching. Let's go Tigers score predictions and players of the game. I'm going LSU 36-12, Malik Neighbors and Harold Perkins. I might give A&M a few more points than that. You might be in the ballpark, and I might go with you, agree with you on agree with you on Perkins, but I'll go Jaden Daniels.
Boy, what a year Jaden Daniels has had. One of the things that we want to mention, look, some of us old farts remember a quarterback that was running late in the fourth quarter, had no reason. You know who called the play? Jimbo Fisher. He'll admit to it because he admitted to me. He called the play with Matt Mark. Matt Mark got hurt. Look, if they get up big, Mike, 20 points, I don't want to see Jaden Daniels running read option and taking more hits. That being said, I'm going to go 31-16 LSU.
Trucking with Casper, thank you for that super chat. And it's that time of the show. Let's hear from Mike Faraday and Alex Martinez over at Pride Roofing.
Hi, I'm Michael.
I'm Alex.
At Pride Roofing, we handle commercial and residential work.
TPO, shingle, and metal inventory. We got it.
Property still in disarray from the recent hurricanes and hailstorms. Insurance claims?
No problem. Though you know Pride Roofing is the official roofer at TigerBait.com.
In fact, notify TigerBait and we'll give you a free roof inspection. And on top of that, you get a free year subscription. Call 855-PRIDE-16. Se habla español.
And there you go. Talked to Mike Faraday earlier today on his way to North Carolina for a little Thanksgiving retreat. And he wanted to say, wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving from Pride Roofing. And, of course, give them a call, 855-PRIDE-16. If you're anywhere from Vinton, Louisiana, all the way to Slidell and Gulf Coast, Mississippi, north to Jackson, and, of course, all of South Louisiana up to Alexandria. They've got you covered. And, of course, based right in Albany, Louisiana, Mike Faraday, a Broadmoor High and an LSU grad. Call them 855-PRIDE-16. And if you tell them you heard about them on TigerBait with your free roof inspection, they're going to pay for you to have free TigerBait premium for a year. That's a $99 value, and they're footing the bill for it. So whether it's a commercial roof or a residential, if you're not already a TigerBait subscriber, they're going to pay for you to get it for the next year. So just give them a call, 855-PRIDE-16, and nobody's better than them, and best warranty on their labor in South Louisiana as well.
Hey, listen, folks, they want your business. You're not going to be disappointed. Trust and communication, Mike. We talk about it, any relationship. Look at what Brian Kelly has done with that football team, changing the culture. They had to trust into him, and he had to communicate to him. Look with the Keyshawn Booty situation. That wasn't just overnight. That took time. Same thing with Pride Roofing. They're going to talk to you. They're going to give you the best deal. Oh, by the way, with the acquisition of Crown Metals, metal roofs are incredibly hot. I talked to Mike and Alex, two good recruiters. Mike with Tammy and Alex with Yessie, family owned and operated. They appreciate you, thankful for a great year. And once again, 275-2041 in Baton Rouge, 855-PRIDE-16 anywhere else in South Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, Mississippi, wherever, Mike, they go.
Exactly.
Tammy was a 5-star.
There you go. All right, let me scroll down here and get some of these.
Jake Pete's in the house?
Bruce Steele with a super chat. Any news on Kamori and Pimpton to the class? Of course, Vanderbilt commit, and LSU had offered a few months ago, and let's see how it plays out.
That's the tight end?
Yeah.
Like I said, look, I don't want to sound like I'm redundant, but Mason Taylor has really come on, Mike. Did you see in the press box
Thanks for the super chat, Bruce.
replay? Did you think he had scored with the football on the cone?
I did.
I don't understand why that, but hey, I'll tell you what, it's hard for me to see a tight end coming in and having the kind of year that Mason Taylor's had. They do need some big bodies, and I know they've got a lot of tight ends coming in the future.
Carl the Cat Dunn, happy Thanksgiving, Mike and Buddy. I saw Carl. I went down a level into the Stadium Club, and there was Carl the Cat with his tiger striped gold pants, and it was good seeing him. And I understand you've got a new ranking out, and he's scaling it. He's moving up.
Carl is now, this year, folks, there have been 78 high school officials. Carl has moved into the top 50. So, hey, Carl the Cat, we love you, man. You're a true Tiger fan. You're a true good guy. Known Carl, I can't remember how many years, but really, I'll be honest with you. I don't know too many people that don't like Carl the Cat. And this year, once again.
Oh, man, he's like a celebrity, man. Everybody was stopping to get selfies with him and everything.
But this year, all of the calls that he makes are, once again, he's got an NIL deal. You know with who? Coca-Cola.
Oh, here we go.
Carl understands.
Steve Blanchard, Mike, you think we're going to have to get into a bidding war to keep Perkins? Feel like the NIL deals are going to be rolling in from other schools in the offseason.
Come on. I'm not trying to denigrate the guy, but listen.
No, I look. There's going to be tampering with kids like that. I'm telling you.
Why would Harold Perkins?
I'm not saying anything's going to happen.
The best defensive coordinator, Harold Perkins' net worth went up millions of dollars this year because of LSU and Matt House. You telling me you can duplicate LSU, Alabama, anywhere else in the country? You telling me you're going to spy and be a spy 4 games in your freshman year, and you're going to leave that? No way.
Let's say he's making $80,000.
No, it doesn't matter. It's not about money.
Oh, it is, buddy.
No, he's going to make more on the back end.
It don't matter.
Look what Texas A&M happened. It was about them, and look what happened to Texas A&M.
Buddy,
they went for the money, and they are a shit show.
I'm telling you right now, before the season even started, there was movement on Perkins.
I rest my case. A&M guys bought a class, and it's gone to poo-poo.
I'm telling you.
You know why? Because the culture is not right. And when you do something solely for money, you end up losing. Harold Perkins will make his money after his 3rd year at LSU.
Case in Acock. Mike, what Thanksgiving desserts are on your hit list tomorrow? Tomorrow might just be pumpkin pie. But also got one of those O&H Bakery Kringles from Trader Joe's, which is probably the greatest thing that they sell at Trader Joe's. If you ain't had one, you need to go grab them before they sell out because they got a big stack of them out front. Almond flavor. Max Truth, Perkins must be used as a kick returner. He changed the game in a few seconds. Do you agree? I think he would be fantastic there, but I don't think that's anything that they'll allow. James Lynch says there's some live string buffering. We're not getting that here. We're showing a fine connection. I don't know if it's on y'all's end, but you guys let me know if any of the rest of you are experiencing something else like that.
Big Sal says, spicy Buddy. No, I rest my case. Why would Harold Perkins, why would Jaden Daniels, why would Will Campbell? You think Will Campbell's going to leave LSU if somebody offers him more money? No way.
Here goes. Carl Dunn has it for you. At least 30 years, buddy. Striving to be in the top 25 next season. You heard that?
Cat, look, let's cut the chase. Cat, you're top 5, and everybody in this city knows it.
There you go. Here's a good one, Paul Eskein, and we talked about this on your show earlier. He says, Mike, who starts at center in 23? Emory Jones? No, not Emory. But
no, he's a guard.
Yeah.
He's a guard next year, probably, if they have the depth. Look, let's give Marlon Martinez a lot of credit. You know, we were pumping up the quiet job that Charles Turner's had. You did not see them miss a beat. There wasn't a bad center. He didn't have a holding call. I thought they did a good job. But you always need centers. I know they've got somebody that's already, the kid, where's he, from Georgia, that's coming in. They like him as a center. But we'll see. Charles Turner's done a quiet job. But Coach Kelly said.
And then what happens with Fitzgerald West?
Yeah.
Big Cojones Kayla tied at 57, 2:41 left. Guys, give us an update when that one goes final or if it's getting crazy at the end. Much appreciative for you guys doing that. Kenny Futch with a good evening, Mike and Buddy. Let's scroll up here. Hardcore Do-It-Yourself says Walmart chocolate cake and Sam's Club brownies. There you go. Brandon Vining, Shaq would ask Perkins to be in a commercial to get him to stay.
Do you see?
What does Shaq do? Does Shaq do anything that we're unaware of? Does donations or anything like that?
I don't. I'm not privy.
I think he is, and we just don't know it.
Because
he doesn't want people to know.
I think so. I think he's man. I got to say this though. When Shaq was here for the Alabama game, you saw the picture with Emory. And we're going to talk about John Emory, folks, because I don't want people to beat him up because you need him, and it's all about in between the ears. But that is one huge man. When you see Shaq on the background pointing to Emory to score the touchdown, this guy, he's a living legend, and I would imagine I agree with you. I think that he is quietly greased some palms because he loves LSU.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good question, but I guess it would depend on. Here we go. Dane Bergeron, Mike, do you think Jaden Daniels Files will return next year? He was not in the senior night festivities. This is a similar debate to the one that just got Buddy heated. It's going to be very interesting. I'm told a lot of it has to do with mom's input and where does he project, what round, and then NIL. And I. So if you look at the salaries for 4th, 5th rounds, I think that NIL is very, very, very doable.
Yeah, I don't know if.
But then it's just a matter of whether he's just, man, I've had enough college football. I'm ready to go.
But if you watch Jaden Daniels this year and you're seeing him play at the beginning of the year versus now, he has improved appreciably, but there's still some progress to be made there. It is interesting that he did not get honored. I think Greg Brooks is coming back. I think Sevin Banks could come back. I think a lot of those guys, John Emory could come back. But Jaden Daniels is going to be interesting. And look, we expect that decision relatively soon, Mike, because the transfer portal is opened the Monday after the SEC championship game. So I think Coach Kelly did say they will start to announce their intentions real soon.
Bart Smokey, was Turner hurt last week? All we got was unavailable. Did they tell us exactly what it was?
Well, he did say he was banged up, but then on Monday, it was interesting. They asked him about Martinez and Charles Turner, and he said Marlon Martinez played pretty good, in fact, real good. I expect Turner to come back this week. So I don't know what was going on, but look, anytime you have two guys that can play center, because I think you agree, Mike, Dellinger's really not a center. They tried, but he's really a guard. Don't you agree? Yeah, Dellinger.
Yeah. Kenny Futch, I'm hearing Darren Reed may flip to Auburn, which, you know, what's the game? Is Lane Kiffin playing a game? Is he going? What's he doing?
Now you want to talk about money?
And if he loses the Egg Bowl, what are they getting? I mean, Ole Miss is crap the bed. But the word that's another word that we're getting out there is the obscene amount of NIL money that Auburn folks are prepared to shell out. So when you hear that and you're like, well, why would a kid go to Auburn when he doesn't even know the coach is going to be? It's the NIL stuff that's out there right now.
Auburn definitely has more money in the NIL, which is why it's a better job, even though politics and boosters are heavily involved. And I'm hearing, we heard this, Mike, 6 years, $77 million, 11 mil a year, something like that.
Kansas State leads 61-59 with 4 seconds left.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, it looks like probably going to lose that one. So, but hey, good bonding experience for 3 games.
Absolutely. All right. I tell you what, guys, we're excited about a new sponsor we've got that have come on board with TigerBait, and there it is right there. If you've been in their shop before, you know how fantastic Alumni Hall is, and you know where I'm going to knock out all my holiday shopping, Alumni Hall. All my friends and family are LSU fans, so it's easy to get something for every single person on my list there. They have the best apparel for the family, hats, drinkware, wall art, you name it, they've got it. Plus, they have the SEC Championship matchup tees. LSU students, faculty, and military receive 10% off in store, and you can earn cash back with their Hall Pass rewards. Go check out Alumni Hall in Perkins Row or shop anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate LSU Tiger shopping experience, and they've got everything there. They've got the newest and greatest Nike sweatshirts, a lot of the other brands as well, all the cold weather gear you want, and they've also, as you can see on the screen, SEC Championship game tees and merchandise. They've got it all right there for you in Perkins Row. Swing by there, and please tell them that you heard about them right here on TigerBait.com.
Did you ever believe when we were doing all these shows after spring and then fall practice, and, we start to get an idea of what they're going to do, but did you ever believe they would be selling an SEC Championship T-shirt this year?
I mean, they've already been selling an SEC West Championship shirt the last few weeks, and no,
I don't think anybody.
You and I were saying we were both 8-4.
Yeah,
and so it's just been a great run, and so everything the rest of the way is absolute gravy.
He is still unblemished, folks. Brian Kelly has continued his success.
20.
19.
20 could be this weekend.
20 if he wins this Saturday. 20 straight wins in the month of November. 4 years at Notre Dame, 1 at LSU. If they take care of business Saturday night.
I was on TexAg's show yesterday, or we recorded a segment for their show that they put together. That's I forget what they call it, but anyways, when I told David Nuno, the host, that Brian Kelly was at 19, has won 19 straight November since 2017. His eyes opened up. He had not heard that, and so that is an impressive statistic.
Yeah, it really is.
And speaking of that, a lot of those include Notre Dame USC in November, and it doesn't seem like anybody's giving Notre Dame a chance to knock off USC this weekend.
Yeah. They have been playing much better, but USC is the fair hair boy on the West Coast. You know, they want to have a chance to get a Pac-12 team in there. And we also know that they want some of those eyes from L.A., although I don't think USC draws the needle, moves the needle the way some teams. Because really, it's on page 6C or 7C with, of course, nobody reads the newspaper anymore, but it's not front
Do we have a
page
final
material.
on the basketball game yet? I'm seeing some conflicting scores now.
Yeah, I was,
Is it 53-52?
no, I thought it was 60. It was 61,
Guys, give us an
59.
update if you don't mind. And guys, we got a big crew in here right now. Thank you all for tuning in Thanksgiving Eve. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. And again, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're loading it up every day with new content. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell. LSU timeout.
Okay.
Mike, did you see Doomerville wearing 81 against UAB? Did he move to tight end?
That's somebody made that notation, and Carl the Cat would know this, but I think that they are probably bringing him in, and when he comes in as the jumbo tight end, uses 81. But once again, I don't know the rule on which. Obviously, you have to report when you're going in, but yeah, that's interesting. That could be kind of that jumbo package for him.
Let's see. Greg Brooks said he didn't walk because his family couldn't make it. Talking about coming out and getting the white panel football, senior night.
Okay. Well, you know what? Greg Brooks ought to come back for another year because I hate
think he
to tell
did,
you,
yeah.
I think he's too small right now to project at the NFL.
Chaz Willie, hey guys, with the portal opening on December 5th, if we beat Georgia and make the CFP, would Nuss be forced to leave the team for the playoffs because it's the only window?
No, it doesn't stop on December. It just opens.
Yeah.
There's a window.
Yeah, and then there's another window. Mm-hmm. So,
No, he'll stay with the team.
yeah, he's not going anywhere. Not at that time. 3 consecutive timeouts. Wow.
I'm still getting 61-59 on the up.
Yep, because they 3 consecutive timeouts. Look at this. I must have an Aggie fan here. He says A&M wins. Michael Hurtado.
Well, let's ask him a question. Do you think Jimbo should call plays after Saturday night?
4 timeouts now. Kansas State just called 1.
I don't know what's going to happen on a draw-it-up play. Does LSU have the ball? They must.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, don't you think Jimbo needs to give up play calling?
Yeah, Max keeps posting that Harold Perkins has got to be on punt returns, and he's typing in all caps over and over. Max, we get it, bro. That's enough. Or I don't want to put you in timeout. But
I will say this to Max. Harold Perkins would do a better job of fair catching and catching punts.
We're all with you.
He's aggressive.
Yeah, Max, we're all with you. We know how great he is, and he could do everything.
He's too important, although Jimbo talked about how good he is on offense.
Absolutely. Dane Bergeron with another super chat. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Safe travels. Thank for all you do in putting up with the crazies like me. Mike, I talked to Stu Coleman today, and he sends his regards. And Stu's a former publisher that ran a bunch of sites on another network, Michigan, North Carolina State, and others. Now retired. Good guy. Palermo. The portal goes from December 5th to the 18th of January. LSU ball. And here we go. Man, I can't believe we don't have a final yet.
Yeah, well, a lot of times basketball takes a while at the end.
Yeah, maybe Harold Perkins wants to focus on defense. Or, like I said, there you go. Joe Klatt's picking Notre Dame over USC. Final 61-59, Kansas State with the win.
Okay.
So there you go. Tigers lose by 2. So what does that mean in the grand scheme right now?
Not much. I mean, look, they're a crapshoot to make the
I
tournament.
was talking to a Texas A&M guy today, and he's a big basketball guy, and he said Kansas State was a good team.
Yeah. This team's going to take probably a month or so before they start gelling.
All right, let's scroll down and get some more of these guys. Hit us with some more questions. We're going to be here for a little bit longer, and then we're going to cut out for Thanksgiving. And again, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys and gals. Although I haven't seen any of the gals in here tonight.
Yeah, Nurse Court, all of our listeners and viewers from the ladies. I did text with Nurse Court. She made it to the game. She said, I wouldn't miss it. But, Ed Daniels talks about this on the show today. Because, look, let's be honest. The press box is heated, and you're away from the elements. But it was pretty brutal. If you dressed right, okay, gloves and layered, it was okay. But if you went out there without the proper clothing, you probably left at halftime, Mike.
Yeah. And there it is. If you're thinking about a new home, refinancing your current mortgage, but haven't found a lender you can trust, let me tell you about Tony Freeman with Assurance Financial here in Baton Rouge. Dear friend of mine, someone who many of my friends have used for their mortgage needs repeatedly. Her knowledge and over 25 years of experience in the mortgage industry is unsurpassed. She offers a wide range of knowledge of home loan products, whether you're a first-time home buyer, ready to buy a new home, or you just want to explore your refinance options. Tony can guide you through your next mortgage experience. You can feel confident you're making the best financial decision with Tony as your guide. Not only is Tony a huge LSU fan, but Assurance Financial is a proud partner of LSU Athletics. Give her a call today, 225-239-7150. Again, call Tony at 225-239-7150. And please, tell her you heard about it right here on TigerBait.com. NMLS number 104765, Equal Housing Opportunity 70876. And she's the best in the business. And happy Thanksgiving to her. And I saw on Facebook she posted a gorgeous picture of her grandbaby. And so give Tony Freeman a call. She's as good as it gets, and she's licensed in many states in the South. And so no matter where you're at, she can lock you into the best mortgage rate and get all your paperwork and get you closed as quick as possible.
Super classy lady, $1 million smile, and once again makes everybody feel comfortable. Couple tidbits that we have picked up perusing the internet. LSU struggling with free throws. Mike, any basketball team, as we know, Matt McMahon had John Morant. And,
oh, they're saying it's overtime.
What? Are we getting conflicting reports?
Is that true? They're saying it's 61-61 overtime.
Let me see here. Anyway, referees have been criticized a bunch, and free throw criticized a bunch.
Y'all having me putting out fake news?
Oh, me.
Because it says K-State 6, and then the next guy says, no, it's an overtime. Wait a minute, overtime.
Okay, well, look, if the game was a regular game, we'd be able to keep up with it. But this flow sports stuff.
It's final, they says.
Okay.
No, but this guy says, yes, it's overtime. Okay, y'all are driving me. Are y'all playing 61-61? Buddy, fill some time for me real quick. I'm going to pull it up.
Okay, you pull it up. Listen, folks, in case you have not heard about the running back situation, I'll give you a little bit of a background here. Josh Williams has developed and is really the number one guy, and he's just so dependable, does so many things. But he got dinged against Arkansas and did not play last week. Now, after the game, they thought that he might be back. Earlier this week, Coach Kelly did not verify if he would be back or not. So if he's not there, Noah Cain, who scored 3 rushing touchdowns and leads LSU running backs with 7, is going to be your starter. And John Emery is going to be your backup. Armani Goodwin out for the year. Derek Davis, hey, did you like the way he looked, number 12?
I did.
Okay, well, he's not going to play on Saturday either because he's played in 4 games and they're going to redshirt. So if you see a number 36, his name is Nick DeMoss, and he is a walk-on, but he's not a bad football player. But you hope that Williams can go, and we don't have time to get into it, but you hope that John Emery can somehow get some confidence and quit fumbling the football.
61-59 is the final, and LSU lost. And I'm wondering if someone was also giving us a Pell score. Is that what's going on? Chris Blair says it's final.
Yeah.
There you go. And the live stats says it's final, 61-59. And Keontae Johnson with a jumper, good, and that was the difference. There you go.
Well, like I said, it won't mean anything as far as, hurting LSU down the road if they take care of business. And it's way too early for me or you to even project what they're going to do in the SEC.
Absolutely. James Wade, Josh Williams' dad is a great guy. Well, you can see it in his son. His son has been a joy to watch in his interviews and very humble. And what does it say about a kid who had legit scholarship opportunities but had the confidence to bet on himself and walk on and earn his way?
I enjoy listening to that young man's interview better than anybody else on this football team. He's heart and soul. And, Jacques asked him about being undersized. He said, look, so what?
That was me.
Oh, you asked him that? Yeah, you and Jacques and all that. But look, he uses it as an advantage. He does a great job of chipping, picking up the blitz, catches the ball out the backfield. And, Mike, to be able to do it and play the way he did against Alabama, that's something that Leonard Fournette wasn't even able to do.
When you see him in street clothes, and you say, okay, this is a guy who's such a great blocker, and blocking 260-pound edge rushers, and it's insane. The kid is fantastic.
All about technique, guys.
Absolutely. Whitestone, the court. Back to the question: who is LSU's best defensive back? Who would you go with?
Well, you got to ask what role are you wanting? You want a lockdown cover corner? You want a safety in the box? You want a safety over the top? I mean, there's
Bernard Converse. You going with Jay Ward? You going with Major Burns?
Well, I think 24 Jarek Bernard Converse would probably win the award this year as far as being the most consistent. Now, Jay Ward has not played as much in the latter end since Burns came back. Mekhi Garner's had his moments. He's going out. He's a big corner.
But there was a stretch where Ward was your most valuable.
There's no doubt. And let me tell you who's coming on right now. Joe Fouche's playing his best football right now.
Yep. And so, but I agree with you. I'll go with Converse.
Yeah.
All right, let's scroll down. Chick Drummer. Hey, y'all. Hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Go Tigers, and hope we destroy A&M. How many of you guys are going to College Station? I'm assuming LSU's going to have a great crowd there.
I can't believe the number of people I've heard.
Absolutely.
That is a tough trip.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Y'all hit the like button, share. Go to TigerBait, subscribe. Try it out for $1. And by the way, we have gift cards. Give a TigerBait premium gift subscription. Give it to yourself for Christmas. But if you're looking for Christmas gifts, give a TigerBait premium annual subscription. If you go under the More category on TigerBait at the top and scroll down to gift cards, it's that simple. And I want to thank Buddy. I'm thankful for him sitting down with me most weeks during the year, and thankful to all you guys helping our YouTube channel grow and supporting TigerBait as a subscriber and in super chats and just being here every week with us and hitting the subscribe button. So you guys have a safe, happy Thanksgiving. Be safe on the roads, and we'll see you on post game Saturday night. Good night.